Hello everybody, really quickly, I would just like to apologize before this video starts. I only just realized, for some reason, this is two videos now. For some reason, my microphone, the one that I spent a lot of money on, does not play nice with my phone. It only plays nice with my PC. I don't know why. Your guess is as good as mine. It just doesn't play nice with it. And so the audio in this video sucks, but I've learned from this mistake and I will never use this microphone on my phone again. So now that we got that out the way, again, I apologize for the audio being bad in this video. It'll be taken care of. Well, not really taken care of because I just won't be using it on my phone, but this was a learning video, and I understand now that do not use the microphone on my phone. So, yeah, I apologize for the inconvenience, and I still hope you enjoy the video anyway, and don't worry, I did a thorough check to make sure you can actually understand what I'm saying in the video, and you can just fine. So, yeah, without further ado, enjoy the video, and I apologize, and we'll never have this problem again. Bye.
Hey Slayers, I'm the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, SEGASLAYER64, and welcome to a different type of video today. Today's video is going to be a lot different because I've never done something like this before, and this is going to be a sort of, well, I don't want to say sister series, but a sort of counter series to SEGASLAYER64 Complains. And what I mean by that is, this series is going to be called SEGASLAYER64 Storytime, or Storytime with SEGASLAYER64, or a SEGASLAYER64 tale, or I think, oh yeah, SEGASLAYER64 tale. That's what this series is going to be called. And it's a sort of, it's like a sister series to SEGASLAYER64 Complains, because I'm not really ranting. It's just going to be me telling interesting stories from things that have happened to me in gaming that I feel are worth sharing with you guys. And today's story is a bit of an interesting one because this one got me thinking. I saw that there was a question that said, and it wasn't on my videos on Twitter, and it said, what was the worst retro purchase you ever made? And oh boy, do I have a worse retro purchase that I want to talk about. I actually have a few retro purchases that I regret, or just gaming purchases in general that I regret and that I can tell stories about. But this one in particular, and this isn't going to be a particularly long video at all, but this one in particular was one that kind of upset me to this day still, and I'm still kind of have a grudge against this place that I brought this certain thing from. And I think I still have it. I might have threw it out. I don't know if I threw it or not. I threw it out or not, but I don't know. But okay, let's get right into it. Okay, like I said, this is not going to be a long video at all. I'd be surprised if it gets over 5 minutes. But the story begins like this, and I want to say this was 2 years. No, this would have been back in maybe 2016, 2017. Let me think. Definitely, probably, yeah, definitely 2017. So this was back in 2017, long before I had even dreamed of starting a YouTube channel or thought about starting one. So this is a good, let me see, 2017 was almost 6 years ago at this point. So that's a good, that's a good gap in between, in between when this happened and now. And like I said, I might have threw it out. I don't know if I still have it or not. But back in 2017, I had come fresh off of just buying myself another GameCube. I had just got a GameCube, and I was super hyped for this GameCube, man. The GameCubes are awesome, and I wanted one, and I got one. And when I got the GameCube, I thought to myself, I have to get a Game Boy Advance to go on side with it. And because, well, there was a lot of great titles on the Game Boy Advance, a lot of great Sega titles, and I had a Game Boy Advance SP way back in the day, and it wasn't, it was okay. I didn't play it much because I used, I was a DS kid, so I would always play. I had a lot of Game Boy games, but mostly because I played Game Boy games on the DS Lite. I had, like I said, Game Boy Advance SP way back in the day. It might not even have been mine. It might have been someone else's. It just was lying around, and it was around, and it was there for me to play. I think I played it a couple times, but either way, I felt like playing GBA games was a better experience on the DS, because I'm gonna let you guys in on something. I do not like the Game Boy Advance SP, not one bit. I don't think it's a good console. Now, hold on. That's not saying it's a bad console. Well, I mean, that's exactly what it is. But no, I don't like it, not because I don't think it's a good console, but because it's uncomfortable. Like, the clamshell design is cool, and I'm happy the DS follows that line. But the thing is, if you look at, I'm a person, well, you can't see, but I'm a person, you've seen in a couple of my videos that I'm a person with big hands, okay? So when I hold a DS is nice and wide, so it fits comfortably in your hands. A Game Boy Advance SP is terrible because it's skinny. It's like a skinny thing that you have to play in one form factor, and trying to get to A and B and L and R. It's tough for me. I don't like it at all. It's not an experience I'm a fan of at all. So I had always been a big fan of the design of the original Game Boy Advance, the first GBA that released without the backlit screen or frontlit screen. I've been a big fan of that, and I thought, okay, I always watch videos of people modding original GBAs to have backlit screens, and I wanted one so bad, and so I really just wanted an original GBA, and so I got it. I went on Amazon, I went on eBay and Amazon. Well, back then I didn't shop on eBay as much as I do now, but back then I shopped on Amazon a lot more than I did eBay. Now I shop on eBay a lot more than I do Amazon, but back then Amazon was it for me. It was the king. But I went on Amazon and I looked for, because a lot of people don't even know stuff. You'd be surprised at how many people don't know Amazon actually sells used stuff. And so I looked for a Game Boy Advance on Amazon, and I saw some pretty good deals. I saw some that were like $50, $40. You know, the typical range of prices you would expect to pay for a console, especially a GBA. You know what I'm saying? You would expect to pay that much money for a retro console. And so I was like, okay, I'm looking, and out of nowhere, I found a listing for a Game Boy Advance that was a pretty good deal, and I'm going to explain it right now. The listing I found was for a purple clear Game Boy Advance, so it was one of the see-through Game Boy Advances, and it was purple, and they said, now the listing said explicitly that it was in perfect condition, great condition, no scratches. I mean, they said it was clean, it worked fine, buttons were good, everything was all right, and that it was a nice clean system. They did say, in their defense, there were some light scratches, and nothing too bad. The screen showed normal use, maybe a few fingerprints or something like that, although the GBA isn't touchscreen, so I don't know why you would have fingerprints, but it's whatever, normal use, and that it was a good working system, and everything worked fine, and I was good, and you could have confidence in buying the system. So, okay, naturally, it's a good price. It's only $30, I think I paid for it. Well, I think I paid like $35 for it, reality. No, $37 for it, but it was because of tax and shipping, obviously, but the actual price of the system was around $30, and now, you have to imagine my excitement, right? And the reason, you might be saying, well, SEGASLAYER, how come that didn't seem like a red flag for you? GBA, a Game Boy Advance going for $30, especially a clear one. And the reason that didn't seem like a red flag for me was because at the time, Nintendo DS Lites and DSi's were going for around that same price, and still are on eBay. You can still lock up on a good DS Lite in great condition, or a DSi in good condition for like, dude, $30. You think I'm joking? Go check. You can find a good DS Lite for like $30, even during the tough times we're in now with money and all that. But even now, you can still find it. So imagine back then, the thought process was a lot different, because I even saw Game Boy Colors and Game Boy and original Game Boys going for cheap on eBay and things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, this isn't too out of the realm of impossibility. So, I'm going to take a chance. It's $30, or, well, technically it's $40 because of tax and shipping, blah, blah, blah. But it's $30. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to see. If it was really worth the time. And so, to make a long story short, I ordered the system. Now, first red flag. I ordered the system. It takes a month to get here. It took a month to get here. And this was supposedly a U.S. system, blah, blah, blah. It's Amazon. It's an American system. So you know, when you order something from Amazon, it doesn't even if it's not from Amazon themselves, I notice it doesn't usually take over a month to get here. I ordered a PS Vita from Japan, from Japan, off of Amazon. Oh no, wait, maybe it was no, it was a yeah. I ordered a PS Vita from Japan from Amazon, from Japan, and it didn't even take a month to get here. So I was like, so when that took a month to get here, I was really surprised, right? It took them a month. When it got here, the packaging it was in was not really all that good. I mean, it was okay packaged, but it it was not adequate at all. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's a Game Boy Advance, whatever. I'm not too worried about it. I'm sure it's to be fine. You know, Game Boy Advances, especially the original ones, were kind of tanks. To be honest with you, any Game Boy is kind of a tank. To be honest with you, so I wasn't really worried about it too much. But long story short, I get here, it finally gets here. Now, I had just put the whole month thing behind me. I didn't really care at this point. It was here, whatever. I'm happy. Can't wait to play my new Game Boy Advance and blah, blah, blah. Get here. I open up the packaging, right? Now, like I said, not too greatly packaged. So I get it out of the box. And you won't believe the horror that my eyes bared witness to. You won't believe it. It was short. I got a Game Boy. I did get the right Game Boy Advance. It was a GBA. It was see-through. It was purple. It was nice. It was a clear see-through system. The problem is, the thing was filthy. Filthy. I'm talking, it was filthy. One of the worst systems I had ever seen. Like, it wasn't, like, unbearably bad. Like, you've seen some bad stuff out there on YouTube and things like that. So it wasn't bad. It didn't have any bugs or anything like that. It was just a filthy system. Like, it wasn't clean. It needed to be clean. Like, there was some like orange, it looked like food. It looked like food on there, and I don't know what it was, but someone didn't take care of that system. That's to say the least. So I took it, I cleaned it up, and no, whatever. The listing said it was clean. It took a month to get here. Let me just clean it up, and I'm good. Okay, I'm good. Let me just play the system. I'm gonna be good. All right. So I get it cleaned up, whatever. Turns out I didn't have any batteries at the time. Mostly because I had just said stop buying batteries, and I started just kind of playing. Like, when I would play my Xbox, I would just use a battery. I had a battery pack for it I brought, and so I didn't use the batteries at the time. So I didn't really buy too many batteries unless it was for a TV remote. But even those, most of those use AAA's, and the Game Boy Advance use 4 AA batteries. So I was like, oh man, I gotta buy some batteries. Whatever, I don't mind buying batteries. I'll go buy some batteries. So I went and bought some batteries, and I get the system home. I put the batteries in. I'm excited, and I turn the system on. Now, I turn the system on. You know, it's a normal system. Now, part of me had hoped that someone had modded this system before. I don't know why I thought that was going to happen. It didn't. The system wasn't backlit, so, you know, that was whatever. No one modded it. No one had opened it up. I was fine. Okay? And so I go ahead and put it in, and I turn them. Now, like I said, I had Game Boy Advance games already laying around, so I had a couple. The first Game Boy Advance game I tried was Shrek the Third, and I put it in and turned it on, and miraculously, the system worked. I'm excited. The system is working. It's good. And everything seemed to be fine, except no. The B button was jammed. The entire B button was jammed, and I eventually popped it out and fixed it, but it was jammed. Like, at this point, there's no coming back. You promised me nothing was wrong with the system. You promised it was clean. You promised I was going to be good. I get it, and it's filthy. No batteries, which is not a problem, but it's filthy, and now the B button is jammed? What's going on? At this point, I'm so confused. I don't understand. Now, the B button, I popped it into place, and at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this person's getting a bad review for sure at this point. But, hey, the system still works, so maybe I just need to continue to play on and have fun. So, you know, I played Shrek the Third for a little bit, and don't ask why I have a copy of Shrek the Third. I got it for $5 back in, like, 2009, whatever. Okay, and so I just have it. But I play Shrek the Third, play a little bit of that, and the system's working fine, good, I can move on. Now, I pop in a copy of Tony Hawk. I'm at Backyard Skateboarding, and I'm like, okay, let's try this, let's see what's going on. And pop it in, turn it on, and here's where we ran into the big problem with the system. I turn it on, and I could hear something but the screen did not turn on. The screen was not working. The entire screen did not turn on. The sound, if it wasn't for the sound, you wouldn't have even known the system was on. I'm livid at this point. I'm furious because the screen's not working. What the heck is going on? And eventually the screen does pop in again, and I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what, the screen's on, I'm good, let me just go ahead and play the game, see what happens, you know what I'm saying? So I play on for a little bit, and the screen goes out again. At this point, I'm done with this thing, you know? At this point, it's not saving. I'm getting ready to send this thing back, okay? Because, you know, I don't have any experience working inside of a Game Boy. I can't open it up and diagnose the problem and fix it myself. I don't even have a soldering iron. I don't even know how to solder. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. You know, and given the fact that I was only 14 at the time, I really didn't even have the permission to use a soldering iron. So, you know, I can't freaking fix it myself. So what am I going to do? You know, what am I going to do? So I grab the system and I turn it off, and I'm going to try one more game. I'm going to try a couple more games. I actually have a Game Boy game. I have a Game Boy Color game. I have a couple Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and I have a few more GBA games. So I try for the GBA. I give the GBA games one more try, and I put in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, I think it was. And I put it in, and it works. Whatever. Screen doesn't go out for a few minutes, and then boom, goes out, comes back in. I lost a match. I was lost one of the missions I was doing, and so I'm upset. So I take it out, and I'm going to put in, I think the Game Boy Color game I used was World Star Baseball, some type of baseball game. I forgot what it is, and I put it in, and no, it worked, but screen still cut off. So it wasn't a problem with just GBA games. The screen still cut off. And so I put in a Game Boy game, and I put in a football Game Boy game. It's a black cartridge, so I don't even remember which one it was. But I put it in, and I don't know what the game's called. I still have that game, too. I don't even know what it's called. It's just a football game I have. Don't ask why I have it. I got it for $1 somewhere way back in the day. But I have it. Okay, so I put it in. No dice. I'm thinking to myself, it worked. The game eventually did work, but at first the cartridge wasn't recognized, but it worked eventually, and the screen's still screwing up. So I'm upset. I'm thinking, okay, this person just completely lied to me, sold me a system that said was clean, but also at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, well, you know what, this was your fault anyway. Why would you go ahead and buy a system that you knew was only $30 and you knew was probably too good to be true? And so I went and I asked for a refund on Amazon. Long story short, the seller, I guess, told Amazon that I advertised that the system was like that, and I know for a fact that the system wasn't like that. In hindsight, I should have took screenshots. Now, since that incident, I've always taken screenshots of any purchases I make online. But back then, you know, again, 14, I was naive. I didn't take any screenshots of the purchase. And yeah, I essentially got screwed. And I still have the Game Boy and never got it fixed and never will get it fixed. I'm probably going to keep it as a souvenir. I'm going to look for it. I don't know if I still have it. If I do still have it, I'm going to keep it as a souvenir. But it just goes to show you that, you know, to be careful. Let me give you a little life lesson, okay? If you're gonna buy retro stuff online, don't buy anything without pictures. First off, even on Amazon, sellers can give pictures. If you're not sure, ask the seller for pictures. Here's the tip. If you're gonna buy something retro and there's no pictures, first contact the seller. Ask them, can you see pictures of said item? If they refuse, don't buy it. Don't even buy it. Maybe even report it. If you feel like a sale is too good to be true, and there aren't any pictures there or anything like that, then guess what, buddy? It's probably too good to be true. Either report it if you feel it's really that bad, or move on with your day and don't look back. Let the next fool go ahead and buy it. Don't be like SEGASLAYER64. No, and I'm the first guy to tell you, there are good deals out there that you can jump on, but there are other deals out there that you should stay far away from. Be smart and decide which one you think it is. Okay? Now, I said this video wasn't going to be long. It's 17 minutes long. Don't ask me how. I don't know, man. I'm just here talking and rambling on. But that's the moral of the story. And so I don't know how often the series is going to be. Don't even ask me, okay? Just whenever I think of a rare story I want to tell, I'll go ahead and tell it. But That being said, if you're new here, if you could subscribe, that'd be really awesome. We're trying to reach 300 subscribers, and you'd be helping us out a lot. Make sure to share this video with your friends to become a Super Slayer. I've been the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, SEGASLAYER64, and also let me know down in the comments, what is the worst retro purchase or any video game purchase that you ever made? What's your horror video game, your video game horror story? Because I'm quite curious to know. Yeah, until next time, have a good one, Slayers.